Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. The world's largest free jazz festival takes place in Detroit over the Labor Day weekend. It's the 37th year for the Detroit Jazz Festival. Last year, an estimated 250,000 people attended the popular event, generating millions of dollars for the city's economy. As usual, there is a world-class lineup of performers. Plus, there's something new this year. More people are going to get a chance to enjoy the music thanks to a mobile app that's going to live stream the festival. Here to tell us more is Chris Collins. He's the president and artistic director of the Detroit Jazz Festival Foundation. He's joined by Jasmin DeForrest, sponsorships manager at Rock Ventures, whose portfolio of companies includes the festival's presenting sponsor, Quicken Loans. Thank you guys for being here.
Pleasure's mine.
Yeah, as I said in the open, this is one of my favorite shows of the year. Partially because I'm a huge jazz fan, but also because I live downtown and I go to the festival every year, and it is really a special weekend in Detroit. Talk about what we're gonna see this year.
Well, you know, it's kind of a momentous occasion, and it's a great place to announce this because it's the first place we're going to announce it. It's the reason Jasmin and I are together today, in accordance with the missions of both of our companies. Yeah. We're decided to go a step further. Quicken Loans has been a longtime sponsor of the festival, but this year it is the Detroit Jazz Festival presented by Quicken Loans, which is very special.
A higher level of sponsorship.
Yes,
Right?
yes. We are so excited, and what's perfect about this sponsorship is that we found out that Chris and our team and Quicken Loans, we were already on the same page.
Yeah.
Our thought with this support is the fact that we could help the Jazz Fest bridge the gap between the jazz purists and maybe the newer generation, not necessarily the millennials, but maybe those who might not be as familiar with jazz as you are. And to find out.
You're saying I'm not a young person?
You are. No, you are. We're probably close to the same age.
Right,
you know. And so what was great about this opportunity is that we found out that Chris was already on the same wave. So Chris was already thinking about how can we push the Jazz Fest into the future by bringing in a more eclectic group of artists. So we're excited. Couldn't be more thrilled to be the presenting sponsor this year.
Yeah, that range of artists is one of the things that really defines this festival. And I don't know that much about other jazz festivals, but I get the sense that it's different here in terms of, again, the real broad spectrum of performers.
It's true, and you know, while it's unique that the Detroit Jazz Festival stayed focused on the center of the jazz art, the jazz art is about having one foot in the historical model and always looking towards the future.
Yeah.
And the diversity of programming, whether you're there to see the great, you know, our artist in residence, great Ron Carter, most recorded jazz bassist in history right here from Detroit, the great guitarist George Benson, up to cats like the Soul Rebels and Surreal on Me and Luciana Souza. I mean, it's a diverse collection of artists and genres and styles that offers everyone at every age a reason to experience the great legacy of this music and also understand the future of the jazz art.
Yeah. So Ron Carter, of course, is the headline of the festival. Talk about his involvement with it. One of my favorite artists. I'm really excited to see him.
I'll tell you, Ron Carter is our artist in residence this year. It's a regular ongoing program we have, and when you talk about Ron, you know, if you go through anyone's jazz record collection, you pull out a dozen records, at least 10 of them will have Ron Carter on it, right? He is a ubiquitous presence in the jazz legacy. Well, Ron has been with us all year. He's spoken at various events. He's worked with high school and college students. He's prepared special programming, and at the Jazz Festival, you'll see the culmination of all those. So he'll play every single night. Opening night with his nonet with 4 cellists. Very interesting group. His trio, his quartet, and closing night that I know you'll be there for is the Ron Carter Big Band out of New York that people rarely get a chance to hear.
Yeah. When you think about downtown Detroit, it's hard not to think about Quicken Loans. I mean, the tremendous impact that those companies have had on changing downtown. It's sort of a marriage of sort of presumptive truth, I guess, with the Jazz Festival then. I mean, because the festival defines the downtown for that weekend.
Yeah, I mean, and it takes place what we call in our backyard. And so bringing in 250,000 plus people, it's great to our city. It's the largest free jazz festival. Gretchen has done such a wonderful job. Everyone loves Gretchen. So we are, I mean, it takes place, it's right between, the footprint is between our backyard, Campus Martius Park.
Yeah.
There's the stage over at Cadillac Square, then you have Hart Plaza. And so we're very excited. We, as you know, we've done a lot of development, placemaking, and activation in the downtown area, and through a lot of the things that you see, whether if it's the chairs, whether if it's public space activation at our different public parks. So we're just excited. I mean, this is going to be a great weekend in Detroit.
Yeah. Talk about the mobile app.
This is amazing.
That's a new thing
Detroit
too, right?
Jazz Fest Live, and people can get it at DetroitJazzFest.com. You just go to the website, and it's a website-based app. Works on any mobile device, and not only you get the full schedule and all the details of the festival, but now for the first time you can see and hear and choose between any one of the 4 stages throughout the entire weekend. Check out all the sets. I'm asking people, get it for your friends in California and Texas. Let them see a great Detroit story live unfolding, and let them know it's free, which is amazing.
Well, and we should point out that's what separates this festival from a lot of other jazz festivals around the world, right?
Indeed, and it's singular in that way, because nothing is charged for it. Not even once you finish all 4 stages, all 4 days, every night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have jam sessions that go till 2 a.m. with the likes of house bands like the Vanguard Jazz Orchestra and Chris Potter and the Harlan Riley and the Mack Avenue All-Stars. You know, that goes till in one room till 2 o'clock. And another event in our 42 Degrees North is a special film event where we are going to be previewing 4 episodes per night of the mid-1950s Nat King Cole television show, where the house band was the Nelson Riddle Orchestra, with Eartha Kitt and Ella Fitzgerald and Jazz at the Philharmonic, and that's connected to Freddie Cole's set on Sunday night, which is with full orchestra, a tribute to the Cole family legacy, Nat and Natalie. It's something not to be missed, but it's a way that people can enjoy the festival well into the late evenings, a real city, a real activation.
You can sit in your living room and
you really can
watch it.
And
watch it. And the app, there's a small charge for the app, but it gives, not only does it give access to the app, it also puts money in the artist's pocket. Artists will all profit from every sale of the app.
Yeah, that's really great. I think I ask you this question every year about jazz and its vitality and its sort of life into the future. Are you optimistic about that we can keep jazz alive and growing in this country when, as Jasmin points out, you know, all millennials who are like, that's my grandparents' music, not mine.
Well, you know, jazz is the beauty of this music. While it started in New Orleans, it had a very particular birthplace. The diaspora into all parts of the United States created regionalism, and that turned into sort of a homogeneous American jazz sound. But now, much like what we talk about in bringing young people, bringing families to Detroit, let's experience Detroit as this rebirth city, jazz is ever evolving. It takes on it morphs with the shape of popular culture moment to moment. And I'm here to tell you, in my life, I've never understood when people say, is jazz dying? Especially, is jazz dying in Detroit? Because it's bristling in Detroit at every age group, in every corner, in every club, and you hear its influence from Motown music and everything.
Hip hop, everything. I mean, even when you think about hip hop music, I'm a big hip hop fan. You know, some of the classic songs had samples from jazz artists such as Nina Simone, Miles Davis, George Benson. And so, I mean, I think that he has over probably like 200 hip hop samples. You know, and so.
Well, my favorite hip hop group, A Tribe Called Quest, you know, their music is built around jazz samples.
Yes, we got the jazz. I mean,
yeah.
And you know, I tell you, Detroiters, it doesn't matter if I'm in schools or I'm at the Jazz Festival, which, by the way, over 25% are from outside the state. So we're doing an amazing thing.
We've got a lot of folks coming into Michigan just to do this.
And what you'll always know is with Detroit audiences, you can see it visually. You start playing music, I don't care if it's hip hop, if it's Motown, if it's jazz, if whatever it is. There's a movement, man. This city gets it, and they're moving as one. You say, okay, and every artist comments on what an amazing audience we have here in Detroit. That speaks volumes to our patrons. And
well, and this is a defining event for us every year. I feel like it really is one of those weeks where we show our face to the world.
Sure, it really is very special, and it brings together the community at the family level, because it's all about the music. People are usually moving from musical moment to musical moment.
Yeah.
And now with the help of the app, by the way, they can kind of see what's going on at those other stages. Go check it out. But the beauty is there's a real family unity and a very friendly, safe, open environment that occurs, because it's not a lot of loitering going on. It's like going to check something out.
Sure.
And there's nothing I enjoy more than seeing a family with a babe in arms and a 10-year-old and an 18-year-old all enjoying
all at the Jazz
Festival.
Which is one of the reasons why we support it, is because it brings out such a diverse group, not ethnicity-wise, but age-wise, everything. So it's just such a great opportunity to showcase how beautiful Detroit is.
It's really remarkable.
Not just the city, but the people of Detroit, you know?
Bravo. Yep.
All right, we're going to continue our conversation about the Detroit Jazz Festival a little later in the program, but coming up next, a special performance by the Detroit Jazz Festival All-Stars. It's right after this look at some important moments in Detroit's Black history.
I'm Ken Coleman with a look back at African American life in Detroit. This week in 1896, legendary attorney Harold Bledsoe was born in Marshall, Texas. In 1964, John Conyers Jr. defeated Richard Austin in a Democratic Party primary contest for Congress. And in 1970, War by Edwin Starr was the nation's #1 pop song.
I said war. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely. Get said again. War. What is it good for? Absolutely. Listen to me.
These are significant events this week in Detroit's Black history, taken from the book On This Day, African American Life in Detroit.
The Detroit Jazz Festival has a huge international following, and this year, one of the local bands is going to take part in a sort of musical exchange with Japan. The Detroit Jazz Festival All-Stars are going to travel to Yokohama to perform with musicians there, and the Japanese band will play at the Detroit Jazz Festival here. We're pleased to have the Detroit Jazz Festival All-Stars here today on American Black Journal.